Well, I wanted to spend a few moments talking about pain and suffering. What is it? How much do you get? Why do you get it? Well, let's start with why do you get pain and suffering damages in a personal injury case? If I run over my neighbor's mailbox, I need to pay compensation for that. I need to pay to replace the mailbox. If I run over my neighbor, I need to pay compensation for that. The mailbox doesn't feel any pain and suffering, so I don't have to pay anything for that. My neighbor feels pain and suffering. You better believe my neighbor feels pain and suffering. So I need to compensate my neighbor for that. How do I determine how much pain and suffering is? Now, it's very difficult. How do you put a price tag on something like taking a walk at the beach without your knee hurting, or pushing a child in the swing when the child wants to be pushed higher? There's no way you can, or there's no way I can as a lawyer. But what I can do is I can talk to doctors and psychologists and economists, and they can review the victim's medical file and say, well, the victim has a head injury, has a lingering uh, bone injury, so his pain and suffering is going to be something like this. Also, as a lawyer, I can talk to the victim's friends, family, coworkers, and they can tell me how that injury affects the victim on a daily basis. So I take that along with the facts of the case. How bad of a wreck was it? How bad of a fall was it? Along with the legal doctrines that apply in that case. Does the insurance company have a defense? Does the victim have a solid case? I take all that stuff and I determine the settlement value, which is basically like the sticker price of a new car. Nobody pays the sticker price, but that's the starting point for price negotiations. The settlement value of a personal injury claim is the starting point for settlement negotiations. Um, Sometimes those settlement negotiations wrap up very quickly. Uh, Usually they don't, because there are questions about the extent of damages, which I talked about a few minutes ago. There are questions about legal liability, responsibility for the injury. I talked about that as well. So all those questions have to be sorted out. A lot of times a judge has to appoint a mediator to help the parties sort those things out. One thing to remember, well, two things to remember. First of all, you don't want to settle a case too early, because if you do, if you have to go to the doctor in the future because your knee hurts or your head hurts or whatever, the settlement's not going to pay for that. You'll have to pay for that. Second, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, almost always. If you have a good settlement offer that you can live with, don't reject it and hope for something better at trial, because chances are you're not going to get it. Hopefully that cleared up some of your questions about pain and suffering and non-economic damages. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you learned a little something, and I'll talk to you later.